Welcome to COMANDOLIN. Today, taking a look at one of my all-time favorite songs, Rainbow Connection from the Muppet movie 1979, amazingly. I am at the perfect age, man. I saw this thing in the theater. I was raised on Sesame Street and the Electric Company and just obsessed with the Muppets growing up. I had this thing played at my wedding. I mean, this is literally one of my all-time favorite songs. And it happens to work great on the 8-stringer, so yeah, who knew? Now, I did do a lesson for this thing like 5 years ago, but that means it's dark and terrible and quiet, and I wouldn't recommend it. So we're going to go back and review here one of my favorite tunes. Hey, before we get started, be sure to subscribe down below. Mandolin did all these lessons and tutorials and things. There will be links in the description for, among things, the Patreon page, which will have, among many other songs, full tabs for this arrangement that you can get. You don't have to subscribe to the thing. Oh, it would be great if you did. But you know, you can just, I think it's $3. I set the price at $3. You can just buy the individual lessons and get the PDFs and all that. So yeah, check out the Patreon page if you want tabs for this. There's also links for the merch store for your t-shirts and stickers and hoodies and all the good stuff. Be sure, of course, as always, let me know where you're watching from in the world so I can put a pin on my map for you. But let's jump in here. Rainbow Connection. All right, let's dive in and check it out here. It's in the key of G, and starts out with a G and C chord back and forth, which I do up here. Just the G chord just being 5th fret of the middle 2 strings and the 7th fret here. Just kind of pick out the notes individually. Lay that C chord on top. 8th fret, 7th fret, this one didn't move. You just kind of work your way up the strings. Do a little pause there. And do it again. And I think in the real song, I think it does it a couple more times without the pause. If not, I generally do anyway. But then it kicks into the verse melody here. What we're doing here starts on the G chord, basic day 1 G chord, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open strings. And the B string here, or the B note, 2nd fret of the A string, that's her melody, so emphasize that one. And then with this finger, we'll land on the 5th fret of the A. Up to the 3rd fret. Here we basically did a G major arpeggio. To the 3rd fret. And then I find it handy to use this finger. And barring that 5th fret of the top 2 strings. And then grabbing the 7th fret on top. Because you could. You know, you could shift your whole hand up and grab them up there with those fingers, but that's a lot of hand motion if you can get around it. And then A minor, just regular A minor, 3rd fret here, and the A, 2nd fret, top 2 strings. And don't hit the high E right away because this is our melody note, the C here, 3rd fret. We want that to be the top note. But then go directly to the open E. And what we do, open E, and the melody is the G note here, 3rd fret twice, up to the A. And you can do 2 things. You can either just bar the top 2 strings and go to the 5, just like we, you know, first we did it there. We can do it there. Wait. But as long as you're barring them here, you might as well, you've got this finger free. Playing it on the E note here, 2nd fret of the D string. Then you can hit them all. Because it's a C chord, what the underlying chord is. So that would give us a big full C chord. But it's, you know, for easy purposes, you could just do those top 2 strings. So it would be like this. First up there. And then there, and that's fine. But I'll usually put that chord behind it when I do it. from there, it's going to be open A. And once again, just lay that, that basic G chord on top of it. So open A. Put your fingers here with the G chord, but you won't need that top note. So all we really care about is the second fret there with the open strings below it. Because then the melody again goes to the 5. And then up here, second fret, E minor chord, 3, 2, and 2. To the 5th fret on the A, and to our basic C chord, 3 and 2. But make sure you catch that open high E because that's the melody note. So that whole little verse melody is. All right, so from here, in the real song, and if you're playing this on the piano, the left hand would do this kind of bass melody, which is straight G major scale notes. But we're already here. This is perfect because we did this. Just landed right here, right? So your finger's already on the 2nd fret of the D string, and that's the first note we need. So super handy. You're just going to go 2 to the 5. Back to the 2 where you already are. Open D, 5, 4, 5. That melody again, because you're here. That's where you are, and you go. Then kicks back into the. Now, if you're on Patreon following along with the music, I couldn't get the second verse to write underneath the first verse like it usually would, but it just repeats the same melody here. Okay, and from there it goes into this bridge kind of part. Kind of weird here. I mean, kind of a stretch, but it's not too tough. 2nd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D, and 5th fret of the G. Here's the chord and the open E. So all we're doing is bouncing between this chord. Don't move any fingers. Just plant your pinky on the 7th fret of the high E to grab that high B note. And all it is back and forth. Make sure it ends on that open E. But that's the, what's so amazing that keeps us stargazing line. Melody moves out to settle in over a B minor chord here. 2nd fret of the top 2, 4th fret down here, and open D in between. And that chord is just going to stay. We're going to use this finger on these notes to kind of pick out the melody. Because the melody starts here on the high E string, which is at 2nd fret. And nothing moves, but you use this finger to plant it here in the 5th fret. You take it off to the 2nd fret, down here 5th fret of the A, and then back to the 2nd of the high E. So one more time, that little change. You're doing this business. Then into the chorus. Whoop. Let's look at this part here. We're going to start the someday we'll find it line starts in A minor with again the 3rd fret on the A string being your top note, and the 2nd fret on the bottom 2 strings barred. Up to the open E, 3rd fret on the high E, goes to a D7 chord. We don't really, you can do the whole D7 chord, but it's faster and easier. Just do the top 3 notes of the D7 chord. 2nd fret here, 3rd fret on the A, and then the open D. And right back to the 3rd fret on the E. So it's this. I didn't do that very well. It's this. That's better. Open E, back to this B minor shape, 2nd fret, top 2, open D, and 4th fret here. And our melody, once again, will come from the 2nd fret of the A up to the 5. And then again, just like before, these fingers stay in place where we'll pick out a melody here. So we're bounced up 2nd fret of the A, up to the 5th fret of the A, and then using the same finger up to the 5 on the E string. Lift it off so you get that 2nd, and put it back on the 4th. And then that chord can just sit there. So open E, then back to that A minor, back to the open E again. So 3rd fret of the E, my favorite chord of the song, which is really, it's just a D7 here. 5th fret of the A, 4th fret of the D, and 5th fret of the G. That little backward triangle, that's our chord, but then our melody note on top of it, we need our pinky to grab that 7th fret. You can hit it all downstroke and pick that note up again. Because that's the word dreamers, you know. 5th fret of the E. It lands back on our day 1 G chord. Wait. Now, depending where we are in the song, one of 2 things will happen here. It does this kind of little interlude. If you're in the middle of the song, it's the all of us under its spell. It just does this kind of thing and leads back into the verse again. And what it is, this little phrase, starting on the 5th fret of the E, dip down to the 3rd fret for just a second, and come right back up to the 7th fret, and then walking down 5, 3, 5, land here, 5th fret on the A string. That's the all of us under its spell. And then we know that it's probably magic. And you're here on the 5th fret, and you just walk up 5, open, 2, 3, back down here to the 5, and then again 2, 3, 5, and slide up to that 6. Builds a lot of tension there. So and we'll start all over. At the end of the song, where he's just going la 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 dee 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 da do and whatnot. Just the end of the phrase a little bit different, but the first part's the same. 5, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5. Then walking up 5, 0, 2, 3. Back to the 5, 3, 2, 3, and then the 3 is the G chord. You could finish it right there, or, you know, go right back to the intro. So, all right, that's kind of a lot. Even it's a shortish song, and it's a lot of repeats. But let's put all that together and play it through one more time in its entirety here. All right, so let's put the whole thing together here and check it out in its entirety while it's still fresh. And get it in the fingers here. So here's the whole thing. All right, did you get it? Needless to say, I like that one a lot, and really sounds great. Hope it's fun. Hope it gets in the fingers. And thanks as always for tuning in here, COMANDOLIN, checking out Rainbow Connection. And we'll talk to you next time.